Hey, what's up guys, it is Needle. So in today's video, I'll be doing another installment of advanced controller tips. This is a series where I just basically take some of the top tips from all of the best controller players out there, basically showing you guys what they are doing and what the average player is not. The reason I wanted to make an updated one is after the World Cup, I noticed of the few controller players that were in the World Cup, you could all see a similarity in their game when it came to their binds and how they were playing, but mainly just due to the fact that the meta in Fortnite now is about box fighting. If you guys don't know what box fighting is, it's basically just how the end games play out and how everyone kind of plays on top of each other in their own one by one. If you shoot somebody, they box up, they put 4 walls around them, they put a floor above their head and a cone above their head, and then you proceed to fight from there and make slow edits, stuff like that. So the game progresses a lot slower, so this is a lot more about close quarter combat and how to make the most of that. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. The first tip we have here is going to have to do with taking walls and having the right weapon loadout out there. So when it comes to actually taking walls, or how I like to usually play, what I'll do is have my AR in my first slot. That way I can switch right to my second slot with my R1 and L1, and then in my second slot I have my shotgun, and then in my third slot I'll have my SMG. And then in my fourth, I would usually have heals. And then in my fifth, I would carry either more heals, more mobility, or a sniper in the fifth slot. That way I could snipe and then hit R1 to go right to my AR. That's how I usually have mine set up. But the issue with this is when the chances are that you're actually on somebody's wall and pickaxing it down, what you'll do is you'll take your pickaxe out, and then you'll probably have had your shotgun out when you ran up to it. So you'll pickaxe the wall. Let's say you replace the wall and you get it off, and that way you actually pull out of your build binds and then you switch to R1. What it's going to do is switch to your SMG instead of having your shotgun out. So I know you guys have probably done it before where you're up on somebody's wall and you thought you were going to have your shotgun pulled out because you hit R1 or RB, but it doesn't pull it out. So I'll let Jarvis explain this and why he sorts his with his AR in the 5th slot and his shotgun in the 1st.
And people ask why I changed this. My old way I used to do it was this. And guys, literally all I've done is just moved everything one to the left. So if you go like that, everything is just moved one to the left. The exact same, like the way I press my buttons, it's the exact same. It just looks different. And the reason why I've actually done this is because I didn't actually know you could do this, but whatever gun you have out, when you double tap Y, or like you're in your builds, when you double tap Y, it goes to that gun. I didn't know you could do that. But what I'm used to doing is like, say I break someone's wall, I take their wall, and then I go like that. I usually press RB to change to my first weapon, and usually it would go to my AR. Then I have to press RB again to go to my shotgun. But instead, the way I've got it now, I just go like that. And then RB once, and my shotgun's out straight away. And it's just the quickest time for me to shoot my shotgun.
Okay, so hopefully me and Jarvis got the point across for you guys. So basically the gist of it is, you don't have to put your shotgun in your first slot or your AR in your last slot. Basically when you go to take walls, all you want to do is take the wall and then have your AR out when you go to start taking the wall. That way when you pull out your build binds and hit R1, you will already have your shotgun out depending on how you have your loadout set up. So that's basically the gist of it, to get your shotgun out quicker after you take a wall and then go to. This next tip here will allow you to be able to take walls in duos no matter what your ping is, and I promise you, it may sound like it's too good to be true, but it definitely works. So I'll try to explain my best and I'll show you a clip afterwards that supports it. So the way it works is, so let's say you and your friend, you have one guy who's in a box and he's just turbo building against you guys. So one way you guys could go at it is just pinching, and what I mean by this is one person goes on one side of the wall, one person goes on the other, and you guys either pickaxe them out or spray it out from both sides because you can't really do 360s turbo building. So that way they really can't place walls and one of you is going to phase through. But the way I like to do it, no matter what your ping is, so you'll have one person who's going to be the pickaxer and one person who is the wall holder. And I've done this against people who have lower ping than me, and it doesn't matter because it's basically like you place the wall before they do. So let's say you are the one pickaxing, you basically just keep breaking and breaking the wall until your friend, who's going to be sitting there with their builds out, they turbo build a wall. That way it registers as that person's turbo building versus the person in the box's turbo building. It may sound kind of funky when I'm explaining it like this. Basically one person pickaxes, the other person sits there and turbo builds the wall and tries to take it. But you do want to communicate on this just because it can get kind of hard if you guys actually spray the wall out instead of pickaxing, because you guys might actually take the wall and then spray it out and then have to redo it. But it's very crucial that you do this with a duo. You can only do it with a duo, obviously, or in squads. But you need to have your communication down, because if you guys both see that you take the wall and then try to edit it, one person's going to try to edit, and then the other person will try to edit, and then neither of you will really get through. So something to keep in mind here. But I have a clip from Zextro and Calculator, who I learned it from. Let's watch this play out. So, if you didn't see it there, I'll try to explain it again. Basically, Zex went up to the wall and they both had one guy in there that were facing it themselves. Calculator calls out that he's holding the wall, so Zextra goes to pickaxe, and then the guy, they end up getting the edit, but they don't actually get a shot because he moves back. Then they just go to the other side, do it again. Calculator ends up getting the edit and going through to get the kill. Zex, on the other hand, got hit by the friend on the side, which is something you obviously have to watch out for, but it shows you that it does work, and this is really effective, especially when playing duos, trios, squads, so something you definitely need to try because it's pretty hard to take walls as it is on controller. So this next tip here is going to be about controller tunneling and controller movement. So basically, I'll just give you a little quick explanation before on how controller thumbsticks work compared to keyboard and mouse. So on keyboard and mouse, all your movement is based off of WASD. That's 4 keys, so you can potentially only move 8 ways. So it's kind of limited in the actual aspect. You can only move 8 different directions. But on controllers, you have thumbsticks, which obviously are going to be able to go all around. You can go whatever direction you want. So this is for once an advantage for controller players where you can run one way while looking the complete opposite. It kind of sounds weird right now, but I'll show you a clip in a second. But the way this works is if you run at a certain angle, you can actually look one way and tunnel another. So I'll show you a clip right here. So, as you guys saw right there, that is a pretty effective way to tunnel out very, very far. So, scrims, endgame, you want to do it in pubs to show off to your friends or show off to the opponent. Try this out right here. You're going to want to practice the motion a little bit. But if you looked at it pretty close, you would notice that it's almost like I was running like horizontally, like the other way, but somehow was just able to maintain my momentum and build to the side. So it's a cool little trick that you can only do in controller due to the thumbsticks, because you can run one way with the left stick, run to your left, and then look the other way with your right stick. So make sure to practice that. It's a very effective way. Now, this next tip here is not actually something advanced, but it's something that I've seen legitimately every single pro do that's on controller. So what you're going to want to do is first just unbind your left stick from sprint if you still have it on and you need to be turning on sprint by default. This is just an unnecessary bind that allows for an extra bind on your left stick. So what I like to do, or what I like to think about it, is controller is already at a big enough disadvantage, so any extra bind you get is going to help. Sprint by default is going to feel weird for about a day or so, but trust that it's definitely worth it to switch off of it. Since we're talking about binds, I figured it might be worth mentioning that you can do the same with the touchpad for PS4 players. And just to preface now, you can do whatever bind you like on here or you're struggling with. So some of the key ones that come off the top of my head are edit, jump, stuff like that, that basically just force you to not have to use your right thumb so much and focus on aiming more. So if you're on PS4, you have the touchpad, which is legit a huge button on the controller that you can put any bind on and isn't too hard to hit. And then unfortunately though, if you are on Xbox, I understand a lot of Xbox viewers as well, you're not going to have a touchpad, so this won't really apply to you. But the default bind for the PS4 touchpad should be the map if you're on Builder Pro. It's quite unnecessary though. You can put it on one of the D-pad directions. I personally put my map where the squad comms are, which I think is right on the D-pad. And squad comms is one of those things, it's just unnecessary as long as you have a mic and can communicate with your teammates. I've seen many people such as Go Shaw use their edit on their touchpad without playing claw grip, so this could be useful if you need it and you can find the right binds with this. I'll flash a few binds on the screen right now as I let the video roll out. These are all binds from top controller players. I think I got these from Ghost Issa, who was in the World Cup, and then I got some from Aiden, and then I got some from Wavy Jacob, who I think is one of the best controller players who should definitely be in an org. So I'll let these roll as the video rolls out here. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Make sure to look at these binds and see how they have their left stick and their touchpad set up on the PS4 controller. So that's all for me, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Make sure to leave a like, leave a comment. That's all for me, guys. Peace.